Before we start off this topic, I just want to say a really massive thank you for the very first 25 subscribers. You're the best. I never thought that I would be hitting 25 in so little time. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but to me that is a lot in a very short time, and I just wasn't expecting it. So again, thank you very much, and I really do hope that you can enjoy more content that I put out. Hopefully I can start going into more entertaining stuff as well. So I'm going to say this: if I hit 50 subscribers, I will play on this ocarina, and I will play the Dragonborn from Skyrim, so the theme from Skyrim. And yeah, I think that'll be a start, right? I mean, just a little sneaky peek. Anyway, I'm gonna go out of my comfort zone because this is where some topics that can be very controversial come in. And I just want to say right now, this is an opinion. It's an opinion. You're entitled to your own opinion, so take mine with just a pinch of salt, because, you know, it's a very complex issue, and I want to talk about transgender women in sport. Oh, I'm gonna so regret this. So there has been some issues that have come up where transgender women are just decimating women's sports. So the problem comes where we start to think that there is a very big... I've forgotten the word. I had the word and now it's gone. And I studied mathematics, for goodness sake. I will sit here for 10 minutes until I remember this word, because it's going to bother me that I don't work it out for myself, because I am that terrible. I don't know why I forget words. Correlation! Thank you! Oh my god, why can't I think of that? There has been a correlation with a lot of transgender women just winning at women's sports, and not just like winning, but just totally annihilating. And I don't think this topic is a new one or anything like that. This has been brought up many times, and it's still a topic of discussion that people just don't have the answer for. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer. I don't have a fix. I can't really think of a way to fix this problem because it's too complex. It's not just about gender identity. It's not about legal identities. It's so much more deeper than that. It's about body development, how chemicals in your body develop differently to biological women, bone density, muscular structure. The list goes on. As of now, there is a set requirement set by sporting bodies that basically trans women can compete if their testosterone in serum is below 10 nanomoles. Now, to give you an idea of how much that is, men produce 8 to 30 nanomoles of testosterone. Women produce around 0.2 to 2.5-ish. You can see where there is already one issue already being brought up just because of testosterone levels. My testosterone levels were at 10 nanomoles before I was put on T-blockers. So I was put on T-blockers to knock them down because my body development and stuff wasn't happening as it should. And yet a biological male can still be at 8 nanomoles and still be below that range. The other problem is that some people would probably say, should trans women compete in women's sports? Or should trans women compete in men's sports? Or should trans women have an entirely different sport? Or should they just not compete at all? And all four of them don't really work out for the best in some way or another. If we said trans women can compete in women's sports, which is what happens now, which at the moment is the best possibility, but we already have the current issues rising. If we put trans women in men's sports, trans women are going to struggle. And not to mention, it's very degrading. I would feel very degraded if I was put in men's sports because I don't want to be seen as that, and dysphoria is a bitch. Okay, so should we make a completely new category for transgender women? No, because then you're separating trans women from women, and that again kind of degrades trans women and defeats the purpose of what dysphoria is doing to someone in the first place. You're dysphoric because you don't feel like you're in the right body. You want to be recognized as the gender that you're feeling dysphoric about. So you can't separate them like that. Okay, so then transgender women shouldn't compete in sport. No. If you then take away transgenders' rights from participating in any sport at all, you're then taking away their rights as a human being to even do what they want to do in the first place. So there's not really a fix at the moment. So now the thing is, when you want to participate in professional sporting, generally your training years are at a very young age. So what is indicative of a starting fairness is that transgender women should start transitioning at a very young age. So the next issue is that I'm mostly against children transitioning at a very young age. And it's not because I feel like they might be wrong about their decisions, because there are trans children who are just so convinced that they are definitely of the opposite gender and they are right. But I can't deny that there are also children who go through that kind of feeling of dysphoria and get it wrong, where they then end up detransitioning and regretting it. And so again, we're back to square one with how do we fix it? And the answer is, I don't know. But going back to the idea that if we did have trans women who started off without going through a single day of male puberty, so that you didn't have what would be the pubertal development advantage, then I would have no problem with that child who then becomes a trans woman becoming a transgender athlete, because they have developed completely as a woman. Another possible solution is to knock down the rate from the testosterone levels to be much, much lower, to at least maybe 3. But I am not fully aware of how far of the testosterone levels we can knock down trans women in the first place. So that's something I probably should have a look at. But I wanted to bring this subject up in a sense of that there are some people commenting on this sort of stuff who will still refer to trans women as men in a way that is still degrading. I'm okay when they're trying to discuss the topics about trans women and being like biologically male and trying to make points across, but when they start saying they are men, that's when it starts to get a bit degrading and completely unfair. But there are also those people who also just think, oh, women should train harder. And that is also unfair and degrading on women. These women train so hard to get to where they want to be, and someone then tells them train harder. You train harder and see if you can get to this level. So if you have your opinions about certain things with transgender women in sport, then please just be a bit more considerate about how we can go about it, because it is a lot more of a complex issue than some people realise, and sporting bodies have looked into it in so many ways and they're still trying to work it out, and there just isn't a simple fix at the moment. It's going to be taking a while until we actually come up with something. But yeah, what are your opinions on transgender women participating in sports? If you have any opinions, just leave a comment down below. And if you are having a debate, then please keep it friendly. I don't want to see any arguments. I'm sure we can all be very kind to each other and still have contradicting opinions. I just think we can all be constructive as well. So just be respectful to each other anyway, if you do end up commenting and debating. But yes, that was my kind of thought process on transgender sports. I also just want to say thank you very much again to the very first 25 subscribers. It does mean a lot to me that I might be of some help or just some motivation for people, so I'm really happy for that. So yes, I think I'm going to end this video here. So thank you very much for sticking around to the very end of the video, and remember that if we do hit 50 subscribers, the Dragonborn with on my ocarina will come, and yeah, I will do that. So yeah, I've been Rebecca Markelv, and I shall see you next time. Take care.